So now I would like you to circle the prime numbers. Which numbers can you not break down anymore into factors other than itself and 1? Circle all of them, yeah. Yeah, so all the ones on the little bottoms. Good. So I have this 3, and then what else? Not the 9, it would be this 3 and this 2. So all, because if you can break a number apart into factors that are not just 1 in itself, you know it's not prime, right? Okay, so Andrew, now it's time for the second part of this question. How would I represent, how do I basically work backwards using these prime numbers as powers and exponents to represent, this is working, to represent 54 with these prime numbers. Is that making sense? So like we practiced in class, how would you represent this 3, 3, 3, and 2 to get us back to 54? And then how would you do it using powers and exponents?
I completely forgot all of this.
That's okay, Andrew. Let me see. 1 second. This will be like our warm-up problem. So if I have my 3, that's my base. That's the number I'm multiplying. How many times am I multiplying it? How many times do you see the 3 in there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't see 4 3s. How many 3s do you see?
Oh,
3. So I'm multiplying that base 3 times. And then what else am I multiplying? Times. What other prime number have I not dealt with yet? Good. So this is what I'm looking for. Now, Andrew, I want you to solve that and see if you get 54. What is 3 times 3 times 3 times 2? Work it out. I want to see the steps. Hold on it. It's not. Go step by step.
Oh, wait. 3 times 3, 9.
Mm-hmm.
27. Yep, we get 54.
Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27 times 2 is 54. Good. Okay, Andrew, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. How would you assess yourself with this stuff?
Like, how I think how good I am?
Yeah, like if you were to rate yourself between a 1 and a 4 being like, I remember this perfectly, I could teach it, I could just take over math and teach about powers and exponents and factors all day long. You give yourself a 2? Okay. Do you feel like if you had been more refreshed, you would have been closer to a 3, or was your original understanding kind of in the 2 range as well?
I think I was in the 2 as well.
Okay, cool.
I can't remember good.
Yeah, math is tricky, and that's why I push the note stuff too so much, because it's just our brains aren't gonna, like, there's a lot to learn in school, so it's nice to be able to reference back to stuff. You're doing great so far. Let's go ahead and move on to fractions, where I'm gonna have you simplify a fraction, and then I'm gonna have you find an equivalent fraction for our example. So, Andrew, why don't you give me a fraction, just kind of a basic fraction. Throw one out there. 3 ninths, okay? What would be an equivalent fraction to 3/9?
1/3.
There you go. Okay. Which one? This one's too easy. We'll do a hard one. so of these two, which one is in the simplest form?
It's 1/3.
Very good. Great. We're gonna do one more. We can do 4/16. I guess that's not terribly harder. Find the simplest form for 4/16.
2/8 and then 1/4.
Very good. What would be another equivalent fraction to 1/4?
So I just add a bunch and then get like
8/32. Let's see if that works. 8/32. So, 32. So a way we could check. So what did you do with this 1 to get the 8? What did you multiply by? 1 times what equals 8? Good. So you multiplied by 8. And then what did you do to the bottom? Multiplied by?
Multiplied 8 by 4.
Yep.
And then got 32.
Looks good to me. Nice, Andrew. How would you rate yourself with that stuff? 1, 2. Yeah. You seem pretty speedy. And then reflecting back earlier in the year, in the quarter, would you say that you have advanced a lot, or do you feel like you've made you've kind of always been confident with fractions? What do you think your growth looks like?
I've kind of always been confident with fractions.
Cool. That's awesome.
They're not really a hard subject. I mean, do more of them. I feel like they're a challenge. Not that I want them to get.
Cool. Thanks, Andrew. Okay, our next skill is fractions and decimals. So we're going to turn a fraction into a decimal. So we are going to ease into this. Let's try this. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Let's do represent this fraction as a decimal.
I didn't forget these.
That's okay. One trick is to say it out loud.
20
And now you know how to take that and apply it to a decimal, because you know how to say the decimal out loud as well.
Oh, now I know.
Mm-hmm. So tell me exactly how it would look. So here's my 0. Where's my decimal? After the 0?
Before the 0.
Okay. And then 25? Okay. So let's practice really quick. So this is the tenths. This is the, and this is the, oh, so is this 25 hundredths or 25?
That is 25.
There you go. Yeah. So, and then how would you say this? If you were telling us about the stock market and saying it fell this much, or I don't know, whatever, how would you say this decimal like we practiced in class? Well, it starts with a 0. And then the decimal point we say as and then we say the number and then the spot. So say that out loud for me.
0 and 25.
And then what place are we in? Is it good? Yes, 0 and 25 hundredths. Beautiful. All right, Andrew, let's do one more. This might be a little trickier, or maybe not. Write this fraction as a decimal. Well, what is 1/4? 1/4 is how much of a hundredth?
25. So it's just 0.1.
No. So if 1/4, so let's just say I have 1/4 out of 4 quarters needed for $1, that 1/4 equals how many cents?
25.
Yeah. So how would this be represented as a decimal? Yes! Excellent! Good. Okay, yep, it's the same. Nice work. So, Andrew, how would you rate yourself on fractions to decimals?
Probably like
A 3? Okay. Cool. And do you feel like your understanding has improved? Is this something that you, like when we're doing this now, does this feel harder than it was before, or does it feel easier?
it feels a little bit easier.
Okay, good. All right, Andrew, your last question is a division problem, so I'll put it up here, and then I want you to solve it on your sheet. Let's see.
I might remember how to do these.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. I'm going to pause the time.
3
Okay.
times 12 is 36.
Okay.
Subtract 49 and 36. Drop the 6.
Okay, so we subtract it. What does it equal when we subtract?
13.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, and then I drop the 6. Okay.
And then, how many times does 12 go into 1 times 6? It goes in 11 times.
Okay.
But that's where I got confused.
Did you do
I
12
just
times?
write it as an 11?
What was that?
Do I just write it as an 11, or do I add the tens one over the 3? Or is it just an 11?
I guess I'm a little confused. So did you do 11 times 12 to see if it equals 136? So part of long division is doing a lot of multiplication on the side. And if that's correct, then yeah, and then you bring it down and you're fine. Oh, you're talking about how I place them? Yeah, I would say that, yeah, you're correct. You would want it a little more spaced out than the way I drew it. So if that